This CS2 guide is going to show you how pros play Mirage B Site and anchor it. I'll be showing you the different positions, nades, protocols, and more that the pro uses so you can learn from the best and implement them into your own game and anchor B Mirage like a pro.
The number one thing as the B player is stopping any type of B rush and B pop, and your best friend in doing so is throwing utility. Kerrigan was able to deploy his HE nade flash and a Molotov towards a balcony and even this defensive smoke here, stopping Team Liquid. One of the most important Molotovs that you need to know for B is this apartment one, which is thrown off that left wall and it lands deep into kitchen near the entrance. The Molotov lands very deep, but note how it does not go and cover the whole kitchen. When the T's plan on doing a tactic called the B pop, they're going to walk up after that Molotov, so sometimes you can go ahead and nade after the Molotov ends. In that sense, you would do massive damage if the T's were to group up to walk into kitchen after that Molotov ends. So you see Mezzy was jump spotting for information, and I'll cover that here in a second, but he then holds this off angle for Apps. So knowing that the Molotov doesn't fully cover the kitchen after jump spotting after the Molotov and nobody coming through, you could go ahead and spam this wall here, which you might get the T. Get out of the habit of throwing a Molotov into apartments every round. So sometimes it's good to hold on to your Molotov, smoke, and other utility, especially if the other team plays at such a slower rate. So you want to save that utility for mid to late round. Kerrigan shows the importance of having the utility very late into the round, which he's able to completely close out apartments. So you see the Molotov is thrown around the 35 seconds, and then he's going to follow up with a smoke. Afterwards, he can go ahead and play behind the smoke. This smoke that you see here is one of the strongest smokes you can throw as the B player. The smoke gives the T's a second thought about pushing through it and gives you that extra dimension in your own play to where you can be inside apartments. This smoke is way too good because it does punish the T's if they do plan on going through it. As the B anchor, you're not actively looking to duel the T's. I'm looking to get the information provided, use the utility to my advantage, whether that be defensively or to delay the T's. And that apartment smoke is the same smoke that I've shown in the past clips, but thrown from a much safer position. As the B anchor, one of your best friends is this B defensive smoke that lands between the van and the B site pillar. In the tier 1 scene, I've seen a lot of pros actually falling all the way back towards the backside when they are throwing this smoke instead of having to play towards the bench. The reason they're doing this is because it's such a more safer way to do so. It's more safe to play it like this than versus if you were to stay at the bench, because the T's are not going to be able to rush you down from backside compared to towards the bench side. A very important skill when it comes to jump spotting is you need to jump spot the right way and make it to where your head can barely be spotted. If you're jump spotting and showing your whole body, then it's very easy for the T's in higher skill elo to go ahead and take you out. Sometimes this mistake is going to happen where you make contact jump spotting and you only see one player and you get so scared that you throw the defensive smoke up. You can actually throw the smoke at the balcony too, so smoking off balcony when the execute comes in is very strong because the T's are not going to want to come through that. Instead, they're going to jump out, so you have the advantage when they're jumping out because they're not accurate. This defensive smoke, you can also go offensive with it, so T's might not expect that you do so because the defensive smoke, they think automatically that you're playing behind it. Also, the T's are so focused on other parts of the site, since that smoke takes away that part of the map, they're not going to expect the peek. I don't have any good clips of showing the normal way of playing this smoke in the tier 1 scene, so here's a clip from Gamesense back in CSGO. Jump spots, makes contact, falls back in sight, watching the site cross, and then punishes Elite for coming through the smoke. The other B defensive smoke is this very passive one that is going to land all the way towards back site. This smoke is a more safer way to play the B site because you're playing far back. If you feel like you can't deploy the bench defensive smoke, then go ahead and use this smoke because it is going to allow you to fall all the way back and the T's are most likely not going to push through that smoke. Fico plays this more aggressively as he's helping out his short teammate, but if you were by yourself, you can definitely wait for your teammates to rotate in. Jimmy already threw all his utility towards apartments, but he's going to be playing bench. Look at how he plays it, sub-low peeking both the apartment side as well as short. Then he's actually going to go fall back a little bit deeper here, holding this off angle. Unfortunately, I don't have any clips of him fragging from this position, but you can still learn and see how he's playing it. One of the sweatiest angles and positions you can hold apartments is from this back right corner of site. Notice how Mezzy is peeking and unpeeking here and there. You might catch a timing on the T's if they come out and don't spot you, as well as getting that peeker's advantage. Krasno holds a similar angle and position like Mezzy, however from inside sight, and this T coming out does not even know he can be there. Another strong off angle is playing balcony, because when the T's are entering out, their focus is on other positions and they might be looking at a different way, or they're trying to jump out of apps. Also, as the B player, if your teammates do ask for mid flashes, you're able to do so by throwing over this wall. It's not just the A player that can do so. One aggressive peek that you could do at the start of the round is using this van jump from Forrester, who jumps at the edge of the van and he deletes Device, and Device is peeking and does not expect him to be there because it's a very quick fast peek at a headshot angle, and Device actually implemented this peek into his own game. Hooksy is going to make the same van peek here by jumping at the edge of the van and holding apartments, and then he's actually going to give this up when he does not spot anybody early on, and he's going to go back to jump spotting. If you've got good movement, make this play like Alexi B, who's going to Molotov apartments, then he's going to jump van on balcony and then jumps around towards this window here and holds this off angle. He's not going to see anybody this round, but you can see from the T's POV that you're not able to see Alexi B until you come all the way around this corner, which you might not expect him to be there. In the pro scene, sometimes your B anchor is just going to completely give up B to help out towards mid, which we see Alexa B and Navi do here. Keep in mind when you are doing this setup, once you get spotted, the T's can go ahead and push out apartments, which you need to be aware of. Cloud9 down a player, mid round, needs information. Hobbit gives up B and regroups with his teammates here mid and going to push and get information. The double op on Mirage has always been a strong CT setup and tactic, especially paired up with that fast boost, which you need to learn. I'll link it down below in the description. So when you have the double op on the CT side of Mirage, one player is towards B and then the other one is towards mid and A. Not only can you boost your opper, but one very common CT tactic in Mirage on the pro scene is double boosting two riflers and having them push into apps early on. Vitality will leave Messi in this kitchen position, which is super hard to clear. Also, it just depends on what's going around on the map and the information gained, so he could have flanked as well. One of the qualities that you need to know as a B anchor is the information given to you and the game sense to be able to read your opponents, to know that apartments is going to be open up for you to push up on. Messi makes a great read and is able to push up into apartments, takes down Blame F. Astralis make their way up short into B, taking down his teammate, and he's going to save. It's good to sometimes be inside apartments to show your unpredictability to the T's, not knowing that you might be there instead of always playing towards the B site. And then mid round, if you do need information, you do have the option to do this play here where you get flash into kitchen. In the pro scene, another common tactic is leaving your opper to solo B. Zaiwu gets the first frag, and it's so important to have an op sometimes to peek towards apartments because the T's will not expect the op to be there and they're just gonna dry peek you. But also the fact that once Zaiwu was spotted, Astralis completely canceled their tactic, hoping that he go ahead and rotate towards A, but that does not happen. Zaiwu is going to remain B and shuts down their take. As a B anchor, it's very important to stay resilient, meaning you need to stay on the site until the spike is planted or if it has been spotted. For the most part, do not leave the site in case there is a fake or even the B lurk like Blame F here. So now you can anchor Mirage B site like a pro. What position, map, and player do you want me to cover next? Let me know down below in the comments. YouTube thinks you should check out these other pro CS2 guides and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.